Hey guys, I'm Nekumore, this is Sonic, and this is Strictly Review. Today I'm going to be looking at the pre-alpha build of the System Shock remake by Nightdive Studios. One of the first games I ever made a Let's Play of was System Shock 2 on the PC. It's become one of my favorite games to play, and now its predecessor is getting a remake by Nightdive Studios. Originally developed in 1994, System Shock was one of the first FPS games that took a tactical approach to playing through the game. Other games like Doom and Wolfenstein would have you blasting your way through enemies in order to make your way through the levels, occasionally picking up various keys and what have you. But System Shock creates a world for you to discover, something that could be very real. There are emails, voice messages, and audio logs left behind by the people caught up in this tragedy. They often leave hints or clues on where you need to go to progress. Sure, this doesn't sound like too much by today's standard of gaming, but back then this was a whole new concept. One small step for man, one giant leap into interactive storytelling. The game's antagonist is a ruthless AI named Shodan. She corrupts basically every system in Citadel Station and begins wreaking havoc for her own personal desires. Doctors and scientists mutate into mindless cyborgs, robots have gone haywire, and every corner you turn could be met with disaster. Now, the demo is currently in pre-alpha, which means we do not have a completed game here, and it has the potential to be very buggy, so I'm not going to be too harshly critical on things that may happen during my time playing the game, okay? Okay. One of the first things I noticed was how close the level design is to the original. I mean, it's damn near perfect, even down to the item placement. Frankly, the only difference is how much better the environment and enemies look, even if the robots do look like Alpha from the original Power Rangers.
What do we do?
Nightdive said that they wanted System Shock to be fresh and new, while still remaining true to the original aesthetics of the 1994 classic, and I would say that they are certainly on the right path. Now, this may only be for this particular alpha, because the audio logs and emails probably haven't been included yet, but there's a passcode for a door written in blood right next to the door's panel. It's really unlike a System Shock game to be this plain as day, but again, probably for the sake of the alpha and to demonstrate how the doors work. Which, honestly, when it comes to door code input, I prefer the style System Shock 2 had, where you type it in on the keyboard. I don't know, that's just a personal preference. There is something that happens pretty much immediately that really bothers me, and I feel like they lifted this off of Bethesda's Doom. Every time you pick up something of great importance, like a new weapon or some type of enhancement, the character slowly picks it up and examines it. I know the devs are probably thrilled with what they have done, as they should be, but we don't need to see these items for as long as the character looks at them. This is probably the only thing about the alpha that I hope they change for the final release. And last but not least, I want to mention the bugs I experienced. My first time playing the alpha, I had gotten to the point where I went through the door with the keypad. Behind it was a mutant, so I beat him down and made my way into the next room only to fall through the map. For some reason, this bug forced me to restart my computer, but it was still pretty interesting nonetheless. The next crash happened as I picked up the blaster thing once you get off this lift. There's a corpse there with a blaster on the floor beside him. Well, he doesn't need it, I thought to myself, and as my character was going through the motions of being super interested in his latest find, the game crashed once again. Didn't need to restart this time, but it was still just as troublesome. There was a texture bug too. Going back into the game to try to get further, I immediately went for the blaster before getting any of the other items in the surrounding areas. Blaster in hand, I began to backtrack so I could pick the rest up. This means hitting the button to raise the lift back up. And the button disappeared. I mean, you can still interact with the asset, but it's funny to me that the button vanished. I wonder if it fell through the floor. And lastly, during the same playthrough, as soon as I had gone through the first door after the button fiasco, the game decided it had had enough and it crashed. Now, as I've said before, this is a pre-alpha build, so the bugs and glitches are expected. It's a proof of concept, and it was wicked cool of them to do for us. Truthfully, I've never experienced the original System Shock. I saw screenshots for System Shock 2 when I was a kid. I'm talking maybe 11 or 12 years old, but I knew I just had to have that game. And we happened to find a copy of it in a local media play, to give you an idea of how old that is. I didn't play the original until much later, and even then I didn't find myself nearly as immersed as I did with the second game. So I don't really have the nostalgia goggles that so many people seem to have. Now that said, I feel like this is going to be a perfect opportunity to experience System Shock. What'd you guys think of the pre-alpha? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What about System Shock 3? That game was announced last year! Oh, I'm so excited! Sorry. I'm just really happy to see System Shock getting the attention that it deserves. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay awesome, Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. If you guys want to see other videos I did, I made a strictly review on the 2016 Doom from Bethesda. I also did a video about Undertale, and I have another one about Hey You Pikachu coming out in a couple of weeks. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.